Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Government House, Yarralumbla. Dawa Nuna, Dawa Nunawel. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Nunawel people, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, emerging leaders, and extend that courtesy to other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders gathered here with us this afternoon. My name is Paul Singer and I'm the Governor-General's Official Secretary. And as this badge signifies with its cross quills, I'm also the Secretary for the Council for the Order of Australia, the body which makes recommendations to the Governor-General, who is both Chancellor of the Order and Principal Companion of the Order. I'm also Secretary of the Australian Bravery Decorations Council, the body which makes recommendations to the Governor-General for Bravery Awards. Before we start the ceremony, I'd like to acknowledge among our distinguished guests this afternoon, Air Vice Marshal Barbara Courtney, representing the Chief of Defence Force, Brigadier David Kelly, representing the Chief of Army, Captain Adam Aleka, representing the Chief of Navy, Air Commodore Karen Ashworth, representing the Chief of Air Force, and Mr Phil Morrill, representing the National President of the Order of Australia Association. Welcome all. Notwithstanding the challenges presented by the pandemic, we are delighted that we're able to proceed with this ceremony this afternoon. We're grateful for your understanding of and compliance with the arrangements that we've put in place to ensure that this ceremony can take place in a COVID-safe manner. The Australian Honours System provides a wonderful mechanism through which we as a nation can recognise ordinary Australians who are doing extraordinary things. Since its inception in 1975, almost 400,000 people have been recognised for their meritorious, bravery, military or national service. And the Order of Australia is the principal means of recognising outstanding service, and it's important to note that nominations come from all areas of the community. Anyone can nominate. Today is a special day, not only for the recipients, but also for the friends, families and communities. Today when we celebrate a diverse range of impressive achievements and service. My Government House colleagues and I are privileged to play a small part in that recognition, and we look forward to making this afternoon a day you'll recall with pride for a long time to come. Shortly I'll invite you to stand as Her Excellencies the Governor-General and Mrs Hurley enter the room, and then please remain standing and join in the singing of the first verse of the Australian National Anthem. The investiture will then proceed in the order listed in your programs. After I read their names and citations, the recipients will enter from the doorway on my right, and after they've been invested by the Governor-General, they'll return to their seats at the back of the room via the central aisle, and at this point you might like to show your appreciation with a short applause. At the conclusion of the investiture ceremony, the Governor-General will say a few words, and after the ceremony is concluded, I'll invite all recipients to join with Her Excellencies on the state entrance stairs for an official photograph. At this point, if I could just ask that the guests remain briefly in the room to allow Her Excellencies and the recipients to depart. So, ladies and gentlemen, please relax and enjoy what I hope is a very special and memorable afternoon. Would you please stand for the arrival of Her Excellencies, the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia and Mrs Linda Hurley, and for the singing of the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome again to Government House at Yarralumbla. These investiture ceremonies, which we conduct twice a year, are the highlight of our yearly calendar here at Government House. And they're important in the sense that today We acknowledge the contribution from Australian citizens to their community, to the nation, indeed internationally, but we also celebrate as well. And I'll come to that point in a moment. But Government House here at Yarralumla sits on the land of the Ngunnawal people. And if you're an ACT or a Canberran person for a while, you'll know how beautiful this area is and its surrounds. And I thank the Ngunnawal people for looking after us for generation after generation, and pay respects to their elders, past and present. Today, as you arrived, of course, Government House is looking as good as we can make it. Gardens are fine. Rain is a bit holding back on being able to explore them indeed, but gardens are fine. The house is looking good. The staff are all in their finest, and the military's here in their best uniforms they can find. Why? Because it's such an important day. The people we're going to acknowledge, as we have with other ceremonies this weekend, will be occurring around the country in the various government houses, are Australians of the finest character, people who have contributed notably to our community. Now, our award system was introduced in 1975 to replace the Imperial Awards system. It has, I think, a very important, perhaps unique characteristic, and that is it's a bottom-up system. So what do I mean by that? Each of the recipients in the General Division, there are two divisions in the order, the General and the Military. Each of the recipients in the General or Community Division of the order have been nominated by their peers, by community members. Ours is not a system where an elite in Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne looks around each year and says, Bill, Bob or Jenny are doing a great job, I'm going to award them a medal. Every recipient who comes through the door in the General Division has been nominated by someone in the community, recognised for their contribution. So after the formal part of the ceremony, I'm going to wish you some homework. That was a bit unexpected today, particularly for the younger people, day out of school, but you're going to get some homework today. So please just observe, think about what you're seeing here today. The award system reaches across many, many, many aspects of life in Australia. Today, with our small number of recipients, we'll just see a small sample of that. But you can imagine across the board who is recognised by this order from the people you'll see today. Linda and I look forward to catching up with all the family because this is very much a family day as well. We know that each of the recipients can't do what they do without family support. So thank you for that. We look forward to catching up, cup of tea, getting to know you a bit better and enjoying in the celebrations of today, celebration of marvellous contributions to our country. On that note, I'll now commence the formal ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor-General. Your Excellency, to be presented with the insignia of his appointment as a member in the General Division of the Order of Australia, Professor Neil Manson, for significant service to tertiary education, particularly to physics. Professor Manson is an exceptional scientist, educator and mentor who has provided outstanding service to Australia. As an expert in semiconductor physics and quantum technology, he's had a profound global impact in those scientific fields. The entire field of diamond quantum science and technology can be attributed to his pioneering and continuing efforts and is clearly evidenced by the more than 3,800 citations of his 200 peer-reviewed publications. His efforts in this area of science is yet to be fully realised. However, his achievements have already enabled others to invent new technologies. Professor Manson stands tall amongst his peers worldwide through his scientific achievements and through his outstanding support and mentoring of generations of young scientists. Professor Neil Manson, appointed a member of the Order.
I can't keep up with it myself.
Why were you on science? I could never keep up with it.
Appointed a member in the General Division, Mr. Robert Yallop, for significant service to international humanitarian aid organisations. Mr. Yallop has made an extraordinary contribution in shaping Care Australia and Care International, and those organisations work with poor and marginalised communities across the world. His integrity, ethical wisdom and passion for social justice for all people is reflected in every aspect of his work. His 28 years with Care built on 19 years of volunteer work in international local community development. His efforts have directly benefited many thousands of people who live in less fortunate circumstances. The offices that he's established around the world with Care and with the Institute of Cultural Affairs continue to influence the work of partner governance and donor community. Mr. Yallop's values and integrity have underpinned all of his contributions to help alleviate poverty and addressing inequality in the communities he serves. Mr. Robert Yallop, appointed a member of the Order. Appointed a member in the Military Division, Air Commodore Damian Ketty, for exceptional service to the Australian Defence Force in combat aircraft acquisition and sustainment and organisational capability development. Air Commodore Ketty distinguished himself in the Super Hornet and the Growler aircraft acquisition and sustainment project. He established a project and executed a rapid acquisition for the Growler capability, effectively engaging and managing all stakeholders to meet the required timeframe. He demonstrated superb skill in contracting with Boeing Australia for logistics support and developed critical networks with the United States Navy to assure both future capability development and sustainment. As Director of Enabling Capability, he led the incorporation of Aerospace Development Branch and orchestrated the restructure arising from a first principles review. Air Commodore Ketty has provided an exceptional contribution to the Air Force's capability, and his efforts reflect the high calibre of those who serve in our Defence Force. Air Commodore Damian Ketty, appointed a member of the Order. Awarded the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Mr. Christopher Dina, for service to people with a disability and to youth through Scouts. Mr. Dina has, over the course of 2 decades, made a positive impact on the lives of people living with disability and the elderly in the ACT region. Through his service with the Technology for Ageing and Disability organisation, he's used his skills as an engineer to design, develop and manufacture a range of assistive equipment and innovative devices. These devices have allowed people to more easily undertake everyday tasks, which in turn has had a significant beneficial impact on their mental health and their well-being. Additionally, as a leader with the Scouting movement for over 34 years, he mentored and has been a role model for countless young persons. Mr. Dina is an exemplar of how one person can truly make a difference to the lives of many. Mr. Christopher Dina, awarded the Medal of the Order. awarded the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Mrs. Leslie Sow, for service to the community of the South Coast. Mrs. Sow is an articulate change agent whose knowledge, passion, drive and capacity to motivate and nurture the support of others has made a major difference to her community. She's applied her extensive musical and literary knowledge to open up the cultural environment of the South Coast. She co-founded the South Coast Music Society and served as its inaugural president, as well as other executive roles, and she continues to be actively involved. Her other activities include Southeast Arts, the Four Winds Festival of Classical Music, the River of Arts across Eurobodella, including the Bateman's Bay Sculpture Exhibition. Mrs. Sow has brought significant benefits to the people of the South Coast, and we are most grateful for her efforts. Mrs. Leslie Sow awarded the Medal of the Order. Awarded the Medal of the Order in the Military Division, Commander Paul Hornsby, for meritorious performance of duty in the field of robotic and autonomous systems. Commander Hornsby, as Navy's lead for autonomous warfare systems, was tasked with the planning and execution of Exercise Autonomous Warrior 2018. Exercise Autonomous Warrior was the first joint autonomous exercise conducted by Western Allies involving all domains, including air, surface, subsurface, ground and cyber. His management of the Allied partners across multiple locations incorporated the coordination of up to 600 people daily. The technical achievements that resulted from the exercise were numerous, with world firsts including the control of multiple vehicles in all domains concurrently by a single system. Commander Hornsby's leadership and management of the rapidly emerging and complex robotic and autonomous systems has been essential to transitioning future concepts into capability realisation across our Navy. Commander Paul Hornsby awarded the Medal of the Order. We move now to the Conspicuous Service Decorations. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Colonel James Matchat, for outstanding achievement in assuming the continual generation of the Australian Defence Force capability through ab initio recruitment. Colonel Matchat posted to Defence Force Recruiting in 2019 as the Deputy Director Recruiting Delivery. Since that time, he has provided clarity of purpose to the dispersed defence and contracted workforce as they grapple to deal with a 42% increase in recruitment applications, whilst reducing person-to-person interactions due to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. He led his team of over 300 staff to implement practical measures to ensure the collective health and safety of staff and candidates, whilst maintaining operational throughput. Colonel Matchat's achievements have directly contributed to recruiting the right people at the right time in order to build, sustain, and maximise our Defence Force's capability. Colonel James Matchat awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Brigadier Christopher Mills, for outstanding achievement as the Director General Force Options and Plans through the application of exceptional skill, judgment and dedication in the planning and delivery of the 2020 Defence Force Structure Plan. Brigadier Mills has led the development of a superior planning methodology to effectively link strategy, capability, preparedness and risk, which will underpin future iterations of a revised force design cycle. He oversaw the development and execution of the most comprehensive defence experimentation program ever undertaken. His commitment to the delivery of the plan enabled the department to sustain government confidence and ensured the approval of an additional $368 billion investment in defence. Brigadier Mills' exceptional leadership of the 2024 Structure Plan will provide long-term benefits for defence and the security of our nation. Brigadier Christopher Mills awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentations this afternoon.
We've acknowledged each of the recipients individually. I think it would be appropriate now to acknowledge and congratulate them as a group. Well done all. Now, we have a small sample to look at this afternoon in terms of recipients of the Order of Australia. That's COVID constrained, but it actually makes it a bit more intimate, more friendly, and hopefully we'll get more of that or experience more of that when we conclude the formal ceremony. But in the general division, at the moment, we have three issues we need to deal with. One, we are still underrepresented in women receiving acknowledgement in the award. The list that came out in the Queen's Birthday list this year, June this year, 44% of the recipients were women. The next list will be higher. We're on the right trajectory, but we need to continue that to grow and sustain it into the future. We are also not reflective of the multicultural nature of Australia, nor the Indigenous people of Australia. So those three areas need assistance. I need your assistance, and they need more effort. Your homework. You know the people in your community who are working hard, who deserve to be recognised. Please go home and nominate. Paul, the official secretary, will tell you when I finish speaking how to nominate. I'm urging you to nominate. Without nominations, we simply cannot generate recipients. I would like to mark or assess your homework with people coming through that door in the next year or two, because you have responded to what is really a national need to recognise Australians doing good things for Australia. So please, there's your homework. Look forward to marking you. For the rest of the afternoon, of course, a bit more relaxed, celebrate, thank these great Australians for what they've done for us, and enjoy the opportunity to say well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to assist with the homework that the Governor-General has set, I do encourage you to access the online nomination form, which is available on the Governor-General's website at www.gg.gov.au. It's a very simple process to nominate someone for consideration within the Order of Australia. And as the Governor-General has said, we look forward to welcoming those that have been successful through that process to an investiture such as this in the future. I now invite the recipients to join with Her Excellencies on the front entrance stairs for an official photograph. Would you please stand for the departure of Her Excellencies the Governor-General and Mrs. Hurley.